Hello, my brothers and sisters on the Dragon's Path. My name is Tim Heijen and I believe in dragons. Dragons are shapeshifters. They can come to us in whatever shape they want, but not only what they want, also what we want. Dragons read our minds, especially when the dragons have a connection with you. And the dragons can come to us to whatever thought we have. That is something that a lot of children have. They often call them a friend. Of course, the grown-ups will say it's just imaginary friend, but in fact it's very, very real sometimes. And sometimes when the child has a childish imagination, of course, they will have the shape of what they have inside of their mind, and they will most of the time be a friendly, very friendly actually, a friend. They can come to them sometimes as a human being, sometimes as a dragon. To me, the dragon came to me as a dragon, of course, and how do you know that it's a dragon if it can shapeshift? That is also a good question. Some things, sometimes you just feel that. You just feel that. Maybe they don't come to us in their original form, but sometimes they have to shape themselves inside what you have inside of your mind. They can do that because dragons have a very, very strong mind, and this strong mind still is with them. Even though when a spirit leaves their body, the mind will always recapture what they had for the last moments of their life. That is what humans are. They always end up inside of a circle. When it's negative, it's inside of a hell. That is what I call hell. I can sometimes feel this, and it's just beyond the first gate, and the first gate is not that difficult to pass by. Most of the time the first gate is enough to reach the dragon, because the dragon can break through 4. Sometimes, most of the time 3, but sometimes when it's a strong moment like the Halloween times and Christmas time, then they can sometimes break 4 walls, 4 guardians they have to pass. And there are a lot of stories about with Adam and Eve, the so-called first humans of this world. A lot of people still believe that, even though it's actually been debunked many of times, that humanity just existed in the first moment of Earth, actually, that we actually are descendants from apes. Sometimes dragons can call us that. Sometimes not my guardian, not my god, but sometimes I've met dragon energies that called me an ape. And it's true, we are actually. It's not something that they meant as an insult. No, it's because we are sometimes. We have the shape of a human, and a human is a descendant from an ape. And the dragons have been there always. So of course they know this. They know the evolution of humanity. It's nothing like Adam and Eve that just existed in the first moment of Earth. It's just debunked many of times, so stop believing in that. It's science. And but there is an interesting story about the Adam and Eve story, and that is Lillith. Lillith, also a shapeshifter. She was the serpent of the tree, the one that deceived Eve to eat the apple of wisdom. And actually, I'm totally for eating the apple, because without eating it, without having this wisdom, we would be just puppets on a string and let ourselves let other people have the power over you. So be captured, actually, like being a slave. And then God was angry in the story because they cannot have this wisdom that God itself has. Why not? Afraid of it? Are you afraid of it? Maybe this was actually the point of this story. You cannot be free. Freedom is bad. I already told you about this. But Lillith wanted to show humanity in this story anyway, that you should be free. You should think for yourself. Not that this God would be angry with you, but you should know what is the earth. You should know what is you. You should know what's going on. You are not just a slave. And that is very interesting. Lilith, the shapeshifter of draconian side of the draconian Wicca, she is actually something in my experience that is the serpent that wants to see, let humanity see the truth, not to be captured by society. Lilith, just like Lucifer. Lucifer is some energy, an entity that introduced himself as Lucifer, but it was not the bad energy that everyone is talking about, the devil itself. No, very friendly, very misguided, just like dragons are. He came before me like a dragon is. Maybe shapeshifted in that, but that is proof. That is probably the yeah. But he felt like the draconic energy. I can feel draconic energy when it's pure, and that is something that I felt, and I feel something the same with Lilith, the female counterpart of it. Not that they are the devil. They had to get the blame of everything, because they showed humanity what freedom is, and that is bad, according to religion. Lilith, I can see this as the serpent, a goddess actually more. A goddess also just a bit the same as Tiamat, also a shapeshifter, a serpent. Not a human, even though she is portrayed as a human. She is not a human. She is actually the pure female energy of the earth, actually. And this is why I understood from it. Understood, of course, I tried to reach energies like that, and maybe there was some night that I could feel her energy, and then I thought to myself, is this Garden of Eden actually true? No, it's actually more of a metaphor that existed. You could see it in many ways. It's just a story. The Garden of Eden is not true. There was no Garden of Eden. There is only to learn from this story. Lilith can come before you as a wise energy to say that you have to think for yourself. That is the first actually step that you have to take on the draconic Wicca side. Draconic Wicca tells you all the time to think for yourself. And that is actually where Lilith, draconian Wicca, stands for. Think for yourself. Draconian Wicca is more fierce than draconic Wicca. Draconian is more like seeing them as Lilith and Lucifer, and less like the pure dragon of draconic Wicca. More as stories, more as something that you have to do as rituals, and that you invoke them in your rituals. They have fixed names. In draconic Wicca, they have a lot of names. Your guardian is also a part of draconic Wicca. And just to say, draconic Wicca is not real Wicca. It's pagan. We existed long before Christianity or any religion, in fact. Believing in dragons always existed. Now in these days, they don't even know anymore. But I made 2 books, and these 2 books I had to, of course, do research for this. And in this research, I came across a lot of revelations for myself that actually dragons were always worshipped, always believed in. And the story of Lilith is just the story of the serpent. And guess who is the child of Tiamat that is also the serpents, and not only the dragons. Dragons and serpents are a bit like, the reptilian energies. I think I lost my way. Sorry. But yeah, Lilith, there is a lot to say about her. She's also just like Lucifer, seen as something bad, but it's something malicious even. But it's not true. They are not bad. They are only purposely misunderstood. Lilith can also be actually, even I think so, being seen as a goddess of your draconian path that you take. A draconian path is not bad. It's actually similar to the draconic path, but the draconic path has more paths. That is actually the difference that I see in it. They have more paths to follow. They have even paths that are not even path itself. That is something that you have to make, because your dragon is flying above it. You only need to follow it. A draconian path is already made. Something that you can follow because others also follow it. It's also very personal, but not as much as draconic wicca is. That is following the dragon for yourself. The story of Lillith is actually very interesting, yeah, if you delve deeper into it. So yeah, my brothers and sisters, be blessed.